Glad you're with us on Mile High Living. I'm Gina Bellich. We begin this morning with information you need to know. Take a look at this mysterious and almost eerie video. Something harmful may be lurking inside your home, workplace, or school that you can't see, smell, or touch. Here with an important message, Jeff Gord, owner of Ace Radon. Now, before we get to that somewhat disturbing video, let's go ahead and talk about radon in general, right? So what exactly is it and where does it come from?
Sure. Radon is a radioactive gas that comes from the breakdown of uranium. It's found in the soil and can affect any structure that touches the soil. It's also the #1 cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. That risk goes up by 7 when you introduce smoking. Radon has not only been linked now to lung cancer, but to certain types of leukemia, breast cancer, and melanoma.
It just seems so scary, and especially when you see that video, which we'll go ahead and take another look at. When you actually see what we're seeing here, what is this and what's going on?
That's an indication of the radiation that's coming off from the radon gas. Those are actually alpha strikes, and those represent the damage that's being done to our DNA. Interestingly, or sadly, our children and our pets often have the most exposure to radon. That's because of their higher respiratory rates and the fact that they're in the home more often and lower, closer to the source.
So in our lifetime, then, how are we exposed?
Well, the way you get exposed is where you live.
Okay.
So Colorado is categorized, we might have a slide there, as a Class 1 state, meaning we have the highest potential for radon in the state.
And so then, where then do we get exposed to it, I guess, to the actual radiation?
I see what you're saying. So our #1 exposure spot is going to be our house.
Okay.
And that's because we spend the most time in our houses. That's going to be followed for the average person by your employment, where you work, and or school. If it's work, you know, your employer, there's laws that require your employer to provide a safe place to work. So it's important to check and make sure they're keeping a radon management plan.
Okay.
With schools, there's state laws for not only schools but daycares requiring them to test. Again, you need to make sure on such an important topic that they're actually following through with that. It doesn't always work out that way.
So obviously where you're spending the most time, that's where you're more at risk, it would seem. So are there any safe levels of radon?
No, there's no safe level of radon. The EPA has set the action level for radon at 4 picocuries per liter.
Okay.
To put that in perspective, at 4 picocuries per liter, a 1,000 square foot home in 24 hours is going to have 287 billion radioactive occurrences like we see on the screen there to the right.
Oh, wow.
Those radioactive occurrences have the potential to shatter our DNA, as you can see there. It's far more devastating than even an X-ray is to our DNA.
So that comparison chart, when you take a look at a comparison chart like that, what you're actually seeing is not only what's happening. Is this what we're seeing here in the comparison chart?
The comparison chart was before.
Okay.
This chart here explains the cause of death. So if you look at this one on the left, you're going to see radon at 21,000 deaths, followed by drunk driving and then falls, drownings, and house fires. You'll notice that the last 3 added together don't even equal radon.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
And the radon data is going to be updated soon. That number will go up. So
obviously prevention is the only cure. So you start with testing. Explain kind of in simple terms. I was trying to quiz you on this before the show. In simple terms about testing, how does that work?
Testing can be fairly simple. It can be fairly complicated. It's best to get someone that's qualified to make sure that you don't get a false assumption that your house is safe, or the other way around, that there's a problem and there might not be a problem.
Okay.
There's a lot of ways to test. We've got continuous radon monitors, short-term tests, long-term tests, lots of different devices. That's actually a Geiger counter for a different type of radiation. Testing needs to be done thoroughly and well thought out, or you can have misleading results.
Okay.
Same with fixing it. If you do find out that you have a radon problem and you need to fix it, you want to have someone that's experienced and competent so that your radon's as low as possible, not just below the standard, but as low as possible, and it's efficient.
Well, that leads to the next question, and that is, why is Ace Radon the best place to choose and to go to and give a call right now for?
Ace Radon, I believe, is the best place because of our reputation. And our reputation has been built on our employees and their qualifications. All of my team are employees, not subcontractors. And if you look at our website or the state's website, you'll see all of our qualifications. That, combined with our outstanding warranty has put us in business for 32 years. So,
well, one of the great things you do is explain it in simple terms, because I know I was quizzing you so much before, because I just wanted to learn a little bit more as we got into this whole process. So, and you were telling me too, it's not even so much if you live in a new home, you're safe. That's not always the case. In some cases, that might be worse, right?
Absolutely. New homes don't have fresh air. Very rarely do they have fresh air provided. Occasionally, they'll have a unit that brings in fresh air, but generally not. We now see in the newer homes that the radon levels are as high or close to as high on the upper floors, even the third floor, as the basement.
Wow.
Which is coming, that's because of our energy efficiency.
Yeah. That's what you get. You get one nice thing, and sometimes it leads another one. Okay, well, it's important to test to see if you're being exposed to radiation from radon that could be impacting the health of you and your family. Since every situation can be different, it's best to first call Ace Radon for a free consultation and assess your radon service needs. The number's 303-753-1044. Press option 2. Today's special radon testing starts at only $50 and $100 off a new radon system. The Ace Radon team would love for you to stop by and at their showroom and ask any questions you might have about radon and your health. The number again, 303-753-1044, option 2, or race to aceradon.com. They paid for today's segment. Stay with us.